investigated why no one's been buying Jordans anymore, and I feel like this is a question I need to be answered because I feel like even when it comes to making reviews or just different videos about Jordans, I feel like they never really hit as much as they used to. So we're gonna go ahead and debunk this in this video by Elliot Page, and of course I don't take credit for this video. I am simply just going ahead and reacting, giving my own 2 cents on the video. So of course the link for this video will be linked in the description, so if you don't want to check out the original creator you can, but let's go ahead and check out the video.
For the past few weeks, people have been shocked at the amount of sneakers that have been sat on shelves in retail stores or discounted at outlets.
A lot of the other Air Jordans just sitting on shelves. Kind of like a wake-up call. I bought someone the Carolina Blue.
Example, the UNC, he says Carolina Blues. I don't know if that's the actual name of it, but the UNC Reimagined flopped in the store for a minute. Fire Reds, the 5s, flopped in the store for a minute, at least for me. Another one was, I believe, the Rare Air 3s. I got them in the store a couple of days later. I feel like just all these different sneakers are just not selling.
It was like, oh, people love these. You know,
those sat too.
They're still in stores.
So I decided to visit these stores to, 1, see if it's actually real, and 2, if it is, find out what's really going on.
So we are pulling up to the Fashion Show Mall, so we'll see if there's anything.
Are Jordans dead? Is sneakers dead? And if so, how did we get here?
I guess we'll check out
yeah, a little vlog from Elliot, man. That's dope.
JD store had the music blasting so loud it felt like
and man, that is a common thing. I was saying that earlier, like JD Sports, Foot Locker, Chic, even sometimes when I go these days, like they always have some type of music blasting, like some Tupac or like just some crazy like hip hop music. I don't know why it is, but I guess that's the culture. I guess that's the sneaker culture.
But essentially what I was saying,
yeah, you got them shattered backboards sitting, cave stones, some reduced, as y'all can see on the bottom when he kind of moves the camera a little bit. It's definitely getting wild.
Pretty much every GR Jordan just sat inside. Basically,
Yup. Legend Blue.
Different posts that have been made online about how many.
And he probably don't know, because you know he's probably one of the persons that gets the sneakers early. He probably, you know, gets them from like an early source who probably has them before the restate, so he doesn't have to actually deal with the sneakers, buying them like in store and things like that. Yep, these I got on the channel months later. Found a bunch in the store.
To go into a JD and see kind of where the sneaker market's at in terms of what's selling out in the US or whatever country I'm in, and a lot is sitting in there. We had like the Fire Red 5s, the UNC ones reduced, which is crazy.
And things seem to get even crazier.
Kind of looks like the orange, the block of orange, but I wonder where he's at. Yeah. But these, this is where I realized the video was not recording the whole time. These right here is lit. I was about to say, are these Amamineers? Or I don't know. They just look super dope.
No way.
Yes, an entire size run of the Amamineer Air Jordan 4s sat in the outlets.
That's crazy, man. Y'all might be seeing me go to the outlets, y'all, and try my luck. Cause if I can get me a pair of Amamineers, like just for myself, I probably would obviously make a video for it, but those are clean, y'all. Like, and they're very limited. You can't really find them. So I guess it's a good time for us sneakerheads. Even though they're not going to raise up in value, you can definitely get a sneaker at a good price. Nobody's wearing Jordans, y'all. Nobody's wearing Jordans. Phone posits.
These are $60 as well. So all of these dunks.
Man, I guess the outlets is a spot, man.
All of the
just put me on.
Air Forces here, like loads of them all over the place. They got them for $9. Ain't no way.
$9 or 90?
Is that real?
Nah, I'm copping. Copping just for the $9, man.
He is handing out free shoes at this point.
Now, I think it's important to note that this
this is
conversation
a super dope spot.
Exclusive to 2025. People have seen a slump in the sneaker market, and just that the general interest in sneakers hasn't been what it was like a few years ago. But it does seem like the last couple years people kind of shrugged it off and just assumed that things would return back to normal. And it's almost like 2025, it's finally come to a lot of people's realization that it's not going back to the highs of 2020. Now, in my opinion, all of this can be explained by a few just simple facts. And the first one is just that the highs of the 2020s and 2021 was a super inflated time for sneakers. Every Jordan Retro was selling out. Collaborations were like an instant money glitch for the now boatloads of resellers that were surrounding everyone. Obviously, I don't need to go into all of the detail because that time in sneakers has been very well documented. But today things are different. You know, we don't see as many resellers. A lot of them have kind of faded away, and that's just because for a lot of them,
I even had a friend that it does not like no longer does it.
Been closing down,
And I pulled up and it is closed down. Like that there's no way that this place is open.
you don't see the insane
Wow.
amount of like Instagram resellers and online sellers. Some of them have moved over to different industries like Pokemon.
They got an
cards and
A6
Labubu's,
Gallery
and
Brawling
a few that
collab.
have kind of stuck it out are either really large entities or are just not making as much money as they used to, or resorting to questionable methods to sell shoes, to put it very lightly.
Right, so
Wait,
just left,
stole from
bring it-
Cool Kicks?
Questionable methods.
LAPD allegedly seized $500K in stolen Nike goods from Cool Kicks. So that means they stole it. They stole the Nike goods from Cool Kicks? That's crazy. Well, I mean, it does say that. 500K is crazy. How are they pulling off a heist that crazy? Wow. And where, like, if you seize all those things, like if you steal them, where are you putting 500? Because I'm seeing like all these packages. How you like? Where are you gonna keep them
sell
at?
shoes, to put
How do
it
you even have the
very
time to
lightly.
steal
Right, so just
all that
left,
merchandise?
Bring it back, and I don't know if he was the owner or just the dude that worked there. He was telling me a little bit about the sneaker scene here in Vegas, because obviously I told him that I'm shooting a video, kind of talking about all of the resale stores and stuff like that. He said in the
This is
past
Vegas?
year, 5 different locations have shut down. And then there's multiple others that are also on the verge of shutting down. He also mentioned Urban Necessities. He doesn't think it's going to be around for much longer. Obviously, you guys know all the drama that's going on with Urban Necessities. He was also just touching on like,
Build a website you love
Man,
with Wix.
it's a whole different time. Whole different time, man. That's why I always preach, man. Live in the moment. Because, man, you don't know how things are gonna last or how things are gonna go in the future. Definitely was a time for the books,
like,
man.
the general interest
Don't get it
in
wrong.
sneakers has shifted and gone down a lot. So they've had to change their business model to adapt to that, offer more clothing instead of just relying on sneakers. And as you can see, like when we were in there, there's just racks of different clothing. Hellstar, obviously, like Spider, some luxury items as well, which I think back in, a few years ago, they'd mainly rely on some of the more like popular sneaker styles like the Panda Dunks, the Red Thunder 4s, all of the classics. So it was very interesting to have that little chat with him. But overall here in the Arts District now, most of the stores have shut down. That was the only one I could find. Bring it back.
So why and how did this happen? Why is the general interest down? Why are resellers leaving? Well, first one, and I think it's something that a lot of people
leaving
reference,
that
and
shoe,
that
I mean
is
that shoe.
price, quality, and economy, which is, yes, 3 different things, but I think they all kind of, accumulate into one main point. Price inflation and quality deflation are points that people consistently talk about, and when they are talking about it, it's mainly aimed at Nike and Jordan brand. You don't really see this conversation too much of surrounding all of the other brands. And when you look into it, it's pretty obvious that the price of retro Jordans have been going up to a pretty uncomfortable level.
I really do like these for some reason. There's just no way I'm paying $200 for them.
And at the same time, for a lot of these now more expensive
Those
retro
is crazy.
Jordans, the quality
And not
has
in a
been
good
dipped.
way.
And then, of course, both of those two different things tie into just the general economy at the moment. The price of everything has kind of been going up, and many people are struggling to pay for things that they actually need, like groceries. So the people who do have the extra cash, $200, $230 for a pair of Jordans, they kind of feel like they're getting ripped off. And then the people who can no longer afford these expensive Jordans are moving on to something else, maybe something more affordable, which kind of leads to the next point, which is trends changing. Now, again, mainly a Nike and Jordan problem, because if you think about it in terms of trends changing, it's not like retros are out of style. Adidas's most popular sneaker is a retro. It's the Adidas Samba. New Balance and Asics have seen incredible success with a lot of their old heritage models, like the Retro Runner runners from the 2000s. But for Jordan Brand and Nike's retros,
So maybe it's
that
just the
seems to
pricing?
have the biggest decrease in terms of people's general interest, which is ultimately why you find so many of them at outlets. Trends shifting and changing.
Oh, my
is
bad, y'all.
something
Hope that was
is
not too
to be
loud.
expected. It literally is the way that the fashion world works. Things are constantly moving in
Black
a cycle
metallic.
where they're going in and out of style. So while yes, everybody is loving the retro runner sneaker now, and maybe not so much the Nike Dunks and the Jordan 4s, retro Jordans and retro Nikes will be back on everybody's feet at some point in the future, just whenever that cycle returns to where it was. One interesting part of the whole trend shift to
But I don't know if this is just a now thing. I feel like, you know, things used to kind of stay in trend for a longer period of time before. And I feel like that kind of translates like even like attention spans. I feel like attention spans used to be much better before, but now it's like even with sneakers, like they don't last as long. Or like, you know, even with like music, the music, like it's not as like the music these days is not as like timeless as it was to a certain time. Because, you know, like you look back and I feel like the music way back when, it's very, very timeless and it lasts its time. I feel like music these days, content these days, even trends these days, just consumed really, really fast, and they're kind of just shoved out to the side. It's like on to the next. I feel like it's very much this on to the next culture, very much onto this, like, you know, I don't know how to really explain it, but let me know if y'all feel the same way too.
now being like one of the most popular sneaker models universally across all brands is the retro runner style. It gets interesting when you actually ask someone why they like that pair of shoes, because this is also a point to why so many
Those
people
is
are
fresh
saying
for
Nike and
$80.
Jordans are dead. The answer they usually give is comfort and practicality. People say that Nike and Jordans are just uncomfortable. It's the same slab of rubber underneath your feet that is solid. Many people who may have tried the retro runner styles, who maybe even exclusively wore Jordans, have experienced this comfort now and just appreciate it a lot more. A lot of people have loved the
Yep.
practicality and the versatility.
Tell you,
of
man,
a
once you
retro runner, where it's something
feel
that
something, you can never
literally
forget
run
it.
in, be
Once
super
you get a good pair of
comfortable,
comfortable
and also be
sneakers,
in style
you
because
never
it's
forget
trend.
it.
And
You
my
can't
next
go
and final
back.
point to touch on is what everybody is saying Nike and Jordan Brand is doing here in 2025, and that is flooding the market. This one does seem pretty overwhelming here in 2025. There is just so many insane sneaker releases that
Those look crazy.
you just can't get them all. There's just too many for each and every one to actually sell out. For a sneakerhead, you can't afford to buy each and every one. And for the general public who have already had their fill of Panda Dunks and, you know, all of the other Nike Jordan Brand retros, and now have experienced that comfort and practicality that comes with retro runners, they're just not buying as many Jordans and Nikes as they used to. So ultimately, it leaves a lot of these releases sat
Hot
not
take.
getting as many Jordan
Y'all rocking these over a
now
pair of
have experienced
Birkenstocks
that
or
comfort and
Crocs?
practicality that comes with retro runners. They're just not buying as
These is low-key tough. I don't know if y'all can tell. They got little claws on them, but these is actually slides. I believe the brand it comes from is called Bravest or something of the sort. But let me know if y'all would rock these. I actually want to know. I want to know what my audience thinks about these right here.
as they used to. So ultimately,
Me
it leaves
personally,
a
I'm
lot
not
of
gonna lie, I
these
would rock 'em.
releases sat
I definitely
on
would rock
shelves
'em.
and then
I feel like I'm very like out the box,
So what's the
unique.
takeaway from all of this?
With
Well,
certain
for
things
everyone, it's going to be a little
that I
bit
like.
different. Some people really do miss the hype and sneaker reselling craze of the 2020s. Others absolutely hated those days. But in my honest opinion, 2025 is one of the greatest years in sneakers. We are getting some of the coolest sneaker releases from pretty much every brand. So while we're getting, yes, insane Nike and Jordan Brand collaborations, incredible retros, we're also getting cool stuff from other new brands. It's also nice to see people interested in more stuff than just retros. I would actually bet
See, I
that
like
more
this
people have
take.
tried different stuff
We
from
embrace
brands here in
the current
2025
moment.
than a lot of the other
You don't look
past
back
years,
and
whether it's
regret
picking up your
or,
first New Balance or
you know,
A6 retro runner for the first time and experiencing that comfort. and
seek out another
practicality.
era.
Something from On or Hoka or a 3D printed shoe or one of the plethora of different really.
But I
cool
definitely
independent
think when talking about Jordans and, you know, people not buying them and things like that, I feel like it's definitely a topic where the factors kind of lead up to multiple things. I feel like it could be oversaturation. It could be trends going too fast. You know, it could be, you know, just the emergence of cuttable sneakers and people just finding liking and comfort. But yeah, I just feel like it's not one reason. I feel like it's definitely multiple reasons. So I feel like we definitely can't attribute it to one. So I think what he said was valid. I definitely wanted to see what
Jordans and
what was the
Nikes
reason.
are sitting and being discounted. But to me,
Yep.
what that means is that outlet shopping has gotten super excited. But hey,
Yep.
let me know what you guys think
Yep.
down
Let me
in
know
the
if y'all want
comment
some
section and share
outlet vlogs. I'm actually thinking about that. I think I might do some outlet vlogs for y'all in the future, so stay tapped in anyway. But yeah, I'm thinking about getting a couple of those in, maybe like once a week, but we will see in the near future. Leave a like on the video if you liked it, and so I can just go ahead and tell, I can get like a little better feel of what you guys want for me to post in the future. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you do want to see some more reactions, top 10 lists, sneaker reviews, you name it. We have it all on this channel, and I do create my own videos. I don't just do reactions, so check them out if you do want to. Now, as you kind of go and exit this video, I recommend you click my sneaker reviews playlist right here, which will go ahead and put you on with some of the latest and greatest, and kind of would put you guys on with sneakers that people are actually buying this year and not Jordans. So with that being said, we do have some Jordans in here, but I'm sure you'll find some other picks you like, and I'll see you there.